What is up, everybody? It's your boy Duty back again with another video, and this video is our weekly series where we conduct an audit on our boy DSP's business, and we check to see how the liquidity is doing and how the business overall is faring. Also, we do this audit to keep Goutman accountable and honest. So you guys know, I take a look at DSP's weekly totals for the work week. I simply look at his tips, super chats, do a comparison from week over week, and then I take a look at his overall numbers for 2023 and then compare it to 2022. So let's get into it, folks. So as you guys know, this week was really good for our boy DSP. The liquidity was popping. Thank you in part to Ryan. So hashtag let's go Ryan for keeping up the business and making sure that the liquidity is popping and making sure that Phil has money for his WWE champions. Big up Scopely. Anyway, so let's quickly review it. So the work week, and I laugh every time I say work week, but the work week started on 5/18 and went all the way up through yesterday, 5/23. And you guys know that yesterday the Snortmobile was vandalized. So of course the money buff was in play and Phil did rake in some cash on the night stream. The dents rallied and made sure that Phil got the money he needed. Okay, folks, so let's do the quick breakdown. So if you look at for his weekly totals, Phil pulled in a whopping $2,725 in tips, which of $1,500. And again, the Ryan numbers are rough numbers, but it's pretty close. I looked at what he gave and so on, and roughly Ryan gave $1,500 to Phil. So if you remove the money buff from Let's Go Ryan, Phil would have only pulled in $1,225, which it's okay. I mean, if you compare that to last week, well, $1,225 usually is a little bit above his weekly average, so it wasn't bad even if you exclude the Ryan buff. So last week, you guys know, he made $2,285, and of course $1,600 was in part to due to Ryan. So last week he would have had a terrible week, but this week, even without Ryan, he still did okay. He pulled in $1,225, you know, and then you add the $1,500 from Ryan, gets you to $2,725. Now for super chats, he pulled in $845. Of that, $50 I believe was from Ryan. So if you exclude the money buff, Phil would have pulled in $795 for the week. But if you're looking at everything in total, Phil pulled in $3,570 for the work week, which of $1,550 were due to Ryan, aka OIC, aka Jinx. So yeah, so overall, even if you take Ryan out of the picture, Phil did okay. He did good. He did way better than he usually averages, which was $2,020. So it was pretty close to last week. Last week he ended up pulling in $2,643. So he dropped about $400. I guess Ryan, had to borrow his mom's other credit cards and get the advance money so that he can pay out Phil. So there's the weekly totals. The liquidity is looking good, and of course, you guys know, we may have to reduce that by $700, being that someone vandalized the Snortmobile and took one of Phil's tires. So there you go. So now let's move over to the yearly totals. So for 2023, not gonna lie, the last 2 weeks actually has really helped Phil close the gap in money compared from 2023 to 2022. So normally he was averaging, he was down like 25% in tips and about 27% in super chat year over year. He's closed the gap, so it's not as bad as it was 2 weeks ago. So if we look at the grand totals from January 1st of 2023 all the way up through 5/23, which was yesterday, Phil has pulled in $23,764, right? And then if you look at for his super chats, he pulled in $9,100 $210 for a grand total of $32,874. Again, these are just tips and super chats. I'm not including memberships. I'm not including, ad revenue. It's just tips and super chat. So not bad. I mean, you average that out for 5 months. I mean, that's pretty good cheddar, Phil. That's like $6,200 a month. Just in tips and super chat. So when this guy screams poor mouth, you can point at these numbers and say, why are you so poor? Or why do you claim to be so poor? Okay, so let's look at 2022. So for 2022, for total amount of tips for the same period, he pulled in $27,230. So he is down negative 13%. So it's better than the last, 2 weeks ago where he was at 25%, negative 25%. So he's closing the gap. So big ups to Ryan for, maxing out those credit cards and helping Phil get back to his 2022 support levels. Okay, and then for super chats, if you compare year over year, you can see that Phil is negative 20% in super chats. So again, it's better than 2 weeks ago, but it's still pretty high. So for the grand totals here for 2023, Phil has pulled in $32,874 compared to the same period last year. He pulled in $38,528. So he is negative 16%. Now these percentages round up, so it might be a little bit lower or higher, but essentially minus 16%. That's what Phil is down for the year. So again, it's big ups to Ryan for helping him out. He still has about 6 months of streaming, so he might be able to close the gap or get close. But I envision now that Ryan was doxxed and no longer tipping, I see these percentages going back up again in the negative side. So just give it a couple weeks. Anyway, that's it, folks. I don't have much to say. Phil has had a glorious 2 weeks in support, but sadly, the vet streak is dead. The vet streak is DOA, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to come back, being that Ryan shot his wad, and that's all he has to give. So I expect normalcy to reign back on DSP Gaming, where the tips are meh and him begging. It's really funny. He begged hardcore yesterday during his Zelda playthrough, and then of course we all know that the Snortmobile was vandalized, so he had to leave. It's making people speculate that it was all a lie. He just wanted to leave and garner some sympathy, and that if he came back that night, the dents would rally. And they did, of course. They rallied, of course. If you look at just the numbers from last night's stream, you can see that Phil pulled in $223 in tips and then $255 in super chats. What a racket this guy is running. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.